my notebook in case our teacher has anything that I want to note down where I take all my notes. And then also my folder in case I teach any handouts, and I also carry my notes for our discussion each day in my folder as well. And then the last thing I take with me, along with these two, is my laptop, where I take all my notes or anything that our teacher wants us to look on, a blackboard and stuff. And all my pencils and erasers or whatever, I don't carry a whole pencil box, so it can get heavy. So just put them in this nice small pocket with my pens and pencils, and sometimes even my erasers also in here. So along with these, there are two things that I can't forget to bring. One of them is my one card, and the other one is my key that keys in my dorm. So these two are things I can have to bring wherever I go, and also can't lose, because if I lose these, that is a hefty fee, especially the key, which is $200 some. If you lose it, because you're not only replace your key, but your roommate's key, your key, and also you have to pay the guy who changed the lock. So the card isn't as hefty a fee, but it also, if you lose it, you have to pay another some dollars, like $25 some, to replace the card and key. If you don't have your card, you have to like ask someone else, and if you misplace it, like leave it in your room, someone else can let you in the door, no big deal. But if you lose your key, then it's a hefty fee, and also if you misplace it, you have to like either have someone escort you up here or something like that. But yeah, if you just misplace it and leave it in your room, it's fine. You can just have someone else let you in. But if you lose it, then it's not gonna be good because it's really expensive. So these two things I can never leave in my room or forget it, because if I forget it, then I can't find it, then it is a pretty big of a fee. So these two things I always bring with me. So yeah, class will start in around another 30 minutes. So yeah, I'll see you in class. Alright, so class just ended, and we had a real good discussion on the Socratic Circle article that we read. We also have another Socratic Circle discussion for next week, which is called The Cave. So right now we're heading back to our dorm to grab some lunch and then also get some more homework done. I have another class tonight at 6 p.m. until 8:40. It's online, so we're still this English class called Child's Literature and Multi-Communication. And I can't wait for that class. So I'll see you then.
Yeah, just be like so.
Wow, that was a long day. So normally I have morning class at 9:30. I tend to wake up at 6 or 7, so I have more than enough to get ready and also do my homework. And for my morning class, philosophy of education, I also have readings every single day for that class. So each class will get assigned a reading to do before next class. So it can range from 2 or 4 readings a week, depending on what readings he wants us to read. So every class will discuss the reading, and he will assign a new reading for next class. And we also have a paper coming up. So after we read this week's reading, and then he will open up the essay prompt for us over this weekend so we can start working on it. So after class at 10:45, I then go directly to my dining hall because it tends to fill out at 12:30, and that also kind of around the time that the high schoolers who are touring the school go to the dining hall to have lunch. Since it's during the social together, they do get to come in the dining hall, and there is space in the dining hall reserved for them. And if I go down around that time, most of the seats are full and can't find a chair or table to sit at. So I want to go there as early as possible and be able to find a chair. After lunch, I come back to my dorm to get some homework done because I do have other online classes. And also there is 2 classes, or actually 3, that I don't have a specific meeting time for. And what happens when I have that is that I don't remember or don't look at what assignments are due as often because I don't have a class meeting time. So what happens when I don't have a class meeting time is I tend to fall behind. So I try to get the homework done as early as possible so I'm not stressed out over the weekend. And I can work ahead in the other classes that allow me to work ahead, so don't have to rush before the class. So on Tuesdays I don't have the night class, but on Wednesdays or actually Thursdays I do. So on Thursdays around 4 I then go down to the dining hall, get a box to put my food, and then 5 I get ready for bed, but also a class. And the class is online, so I can just sit in my dorm or whatever. But a lot of teachers, I don't know if this is for all teachers, but that teacher does request you to turn camera on just to build a sense of community. And I'm sure a lot of teachers will allow you to keep your camera off if you have a good reason to. But I think some teachers would really appreciate if you turn your camera on, even if they don't really require it. So it's better to turn your camera on so they're not talking to a screen. And it's always important to make sure you're participating and not doing something else in that online class, because when it comes to group work, your peers will want to listen to what you have to say, and if you miss it or something, then you're probably gonna miss any information that other people have said. And if you don't know what was said in class or don't know what your peers have said during discussion, then the assignments are going to be tough for you because you don't know what was said during class. And I've experienced this last semester where we used to have this every other week class, and sometimes we do this our own meeting every other week that we don't have class. And it's been a common thing where this one girl, she didn't attend a meeting, she didn't attend class, so it was expected. But as the weeks went on, the 3 people that always work on the stuff together, one of them, they will come still attend the meeting. But the thing is, as the weeks went on, it was always just me and one other person on the call. And it was always switching out, and I don't know what was going on. And when they don't turn the camera on, you don't know if they're there or not, and you're kind of where are they? So it's really hard when you don't turn the camera on and when you don't communicate with your peers because they are not there. So don't be that person that's behind the camera, not turning it on, and not even being there, because it gets really frustrating. That night class, I wasn't really allowed to get any footage per the school policy, so I couldn't really record any footage. The whole class wasn't really, interesting because it was mainly just about our how to use the library, because we have to get our books and stuff. But I already brought them really early on before school year started, or the school semester actually, just to get from the bookstore. But some people, they don't want to spend too much money, or they have enough money, they just want to borrow. But I feel borrowing, especially, I've done it before, and you can only rent it for a few days, or it's turned into hours now, and I can't finish a book in an hour, so I brought from the bookstore. It's a lot easier, and if I can, I'll try and find a PDF just to save some money. And these books, like, I remember when I first went to the bookstore, it was like extremely heavy. Like, I literally almost dropped all the books and put them over the bookstore. So next week we're gonna be, I think, diving into one of the books. But today's class was just the library taught us how to use the library site to find books and did an activity with that. And our teacher explained the reading journal assignment to us to talk about what to do for that, so we can start working on it whenever we get time. And then we also shared our favorite childhood books. But because I don't have any childhood books from when I was a child, I probably donated them all. The only book I could find was one that was all the award-winning children's books were loosely based on. So here's an example. I had this Grimm's original fairy tale book, and all the stories on here are well known from your childhood. Like, it could be like a fairy tale or something, and all the fairy tales, to be specific, won the Caldecott Award. So it's all those like fairy tales like Cinderella, Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, all won the Caldecott Award. I think Sleeping Beauty won like the Goodreads Award or something. So that's a different fairy tale that won a different award, the adaptation of it, however. So I just used this book because that was the only book that I could find. A lot of people like use Rainbow Fish, and other books that I don't know because I've never really read them as much as a kid. I read a lot of like princess stories when I was a child. That's what I was into when I was growing up. So next week we're going to be diving into one of the books, and our teacher also provided many PDFs on Blackboard for us if we don't have that book and stuff. And then after class, I tend to, like, work on some more homework, try to get as much done before the weekend rolls in. And I also do have some papers to write because I have an essay coming up, and I also have another paper to write almost every single week for my other class. And then I also have this other paper that I've been pushing off for a long time now, and the first assignment is due like in, I think, in a few days, so I gotta start working on that and finish that up. I really enjoy taking you guys along with me on my school day, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.